Hi, friends, and thank you for joining me today. I am using the January Altenew Inspiration Challenge as a sounding board for my color palette on this card today. For this card, I'm using primarily Altenew products as well. I will be using the Carolina Allspice die set as well as Crafty Necessities cardstocks in the colors Parrot, Bamboo, Crimson, Coral Bliss, Warm Sunshine, and Paper Bag. So if you follow along, you will see me using all of those. The first thing that I do, since this design of dies does not have the keyhole, I try to line everything up with which color cardstock that I will be die cutting it from. Once I have that figured out, I go ahead and die cut all of my pieces. Here you see me inking up that Warm Sunshine cardstock with the um, Honey Drizzle ink, but I end up not using that piece as is. I end up adding more color to it at the end. Next up, I'm grabbing the Coral Bliss cutout as well as the Crimson cutout, and I'm going to be adding burnt red and some Canyon clay to those to just give some deeper variation in the colors. Moving right along to the leaves, I do end up arranging those layers. I leave the solid layer as is, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the Parrot cardstock. And then I move on to the bamboo layers, and I use Shadow Creek and Oak Moss to add color. And the darkest color is used for those fine details for those four pieces at the top there. I am using a paper inking palette from Picket Fence, if I'm not mistaken. So that is what is holding my pieces into place. I have these in all different sizes, but I love having them on my workstation when I'm doing projects like these, and they clean up very nicely. Okay, once my leaves are done, that is essentially it. I did also do the centers, those brown centers in the top right are die cut from the paper bag, and then I use the milk chocolate ink on those. I will also go back on those pieces and add more burnt red to make the flower be the colors that I like. Again, once I have inked up everything, I start arranging the flower and I do not like it. So I go back in with the burnt red and some of the terracotta and even the canyon clay to add more depth to the warm sunshine layer of that flower. So I just add that all over onto both of those. I did not think the colors fit the challenge well with that yellow background, so I just went back in with burnt red and added more depth to all of the pieces here. I am truly satisfied with how things are looking now that I've added more of the red and switched up the color scheme of the flower. So this is just a reminder that even if you aren't a fan of what you're working with, you can always switch things up. And when you're working with colored cardstock, if you add the right colors to that colored cardstock, you can achieve beautiful results. I love inking on colored cardstock. It just adds more depth, I think, to the final product. Here I am just finishing up layering up those leaves. Again, the bottom I left alone, and then those two layering pieces, I did add ink to those. I also realized after I've arranged these flowers that I forgot these small pieces that act as like the shadows or the tips of the leaves. So I do go back and I add the canyon red to those to make more variation in that flower. For the background of the flowers, I chose to use a white panel that I embossed using the Chocolate Flowers 3D embossing folder. I got that embossing folder a part of the Craft Your Life kit. So you can find that. That kit is wonderful. It has a lot of things in there that I can use on their own as well. So that is what I'm using for my background. I spent some time playing around with my arrangement and then was trying to decide on a sentiment. That stamp set came from that Chocolate Flowers Craft Your Life kit as well. But I remembered that the die set itself has the sentiment thanks. So I chose to die cut that out in the warm sunshine since I did not use it on its own anywhere else. Before adhering everything using some foam squares, I did splatter some black paint across my panel, and then I added everything on, and this is what my card is looking like. I will be entering this into the January Altenew Crafty Challenge. I love doing those challenges as a way to spark my creativity and keep it going. So if you are ever stuck and just need something to spark some creativity, consider playing along in some of these challenges. But yeah, guys, that is all that I have to share today. Thank you so much for watching. All of the products are listed down below in the description box. Have a great day.